Hi future officers, welcome to EduTap and welcome to another important CT360 series session in which we cover the most important GA and ESI current affairs from the exam point of view. In the today's session, we will be covering the most important news articles from the 5th and 6th of April 2024, and the topics that we will be covering in the today's session are only relevant for phase 1 of the exam, and the topics here are the CAR T cell therapy, first SPR with the private company, Gati Shakti, Agni Prime, and the Forbes World's Billionaires list. So let's move on to the very first news article that is relevant for phase 1 only, and that news article is that President of India has launched India's first homegrown gene therapy for the cancer. So guys, when I talk about the name of this therapy, the name is really very important and it is the CAR T cell therapy. Okay, I am marking the star here as it is very important to be remember that what exactly is the name of this therapy, that is CAR T cell therapy. Now when I talk about this therapy, this is one of the most prominent treatment against the blood cancer. And when I talk about guys this particular therapy, this is the world's most expensive therapy. But what is special about India's therapy? Basically, it is the world's most affordable CAR T cell therapy. That is why it is really very important making the things affordable for the people, because the therapy which is being used across the world, it is really very expensive. But we at India, that is by IIT Bombay, Tata Memorial Hospital and the ImmunoACT, which have together collaborated in order to launch this particular therapy, has really made them affordable one. So now my dear friends, in the last year as well, there was a kind of news article related to such kind of technology, जिसके अंदर से question आया था about the full form of the DNA. So guys, similarly, a question can be asked from the CAR T cell therapy that what exactly here the CAR-T stands for. Let me tell you that it is chimeric antigen therapy T cell therapy. Okay, so that means it is the chimeric antigen receptor T cell therapy. So this is the full form that all of you are required to remember from the exam point of view. I hope this news article is very much clear to all of you. Let's move on to the next news article, that is India is aiming for the first strategic petroleum reserve. अभी strategic petroleum reserve आपके mind में आ रहा होगा that what exactly sir this SPR is. So SPR is basically a stockpile of the crude oil which is being maintained by the country for release in the event of a supply disruption. For example, we all know that in the past 2 years there was a Russia-Ukraine crisis, due to which there was the supply chain disruption of most of the commodities which are being exported from the Ukraine. Similarly guys, for example, अगर हम बात करते हैं कि ऐसा ही कोई supply chain disruption होता है in the petroleum, तो इंडिया जो कि डिपेंडेंट है काफी ज्यादा पेट्रोलियम प्रोडक्ट्स पे, तो उसके पास इतना पेट्रोलियम होना चाहिए so that कि we can really sustain those particular days. And similarly, these SPRs are being established, which is called strategic petroleum reserve. And let me tell you that at presently there are 2 states where these SPRs have been established by India. These are in Visakhapatnam in the Andhra Pradesh and Mangaluru and Padur in Karnataka. ठीक है, तो ये 3 SPRs presently इंडिया के अंदर हैं. But when I talk about these new SPRs which will be launched with the private company, these SPRs are basically one in the Padur in Karnataka and the other one is in the Odisha state. और इसकी capacity आपको given है that is 18.3 million barrels in the Padur Karnataka and 29.3 million barrels which will be in Odisha. So these will be the private partners, and let me tell you that under these SPRs, the private partners will be allowed to trade off all the oil locally. But there is a one catch here guys. What exactly it is? Let me tell you that in case of any such kind of situation where there is a supply chain disruption of the petroleum, in that particular case the first right on this petroleum will be of the government of India only. ठीक है जी. So जैसा कि हमने देखा कि SPR basically है, ठीक है, but what is the name of that organization which is responsible for managing these SPRs? That is basically Indian Strategic Petroleum Reserve Limited, which is a company which is charged with the management of these Indian Strategic Petroleum Reserves. Now when I talk about the name of the person who is the head of ISPR, it is basically LR Jan. That is the name of the person who is the chief executive of this organization. So all these details are really very important to be covered from the exam point of view. Let's move on to the next news article, which is related to the Gagan Shakti. Gagan Shakti exercise is being presently conducted by the Indian Air Force, and it showcases the various high tempo operations and the drills which are being conducted by the Indian Air Force. Let me tell you that this exercise is being conducted by the Indian Air Force by between 1 to 10th of April 2024. Okay guys, so this exercise is really very important to be covered, and as a part of this exercise, let me tell you that the Indian Air Force has recently activated the emergency lending facility which are being scattered across the country. तो उन सभी जो भी हमारे lending facilities हैं उनको यहाँ पर activate किया गया है for such kind of time period, so that yes, we can really practice the sorties which we will be requiring in some case of exigencies. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पर natural calamity के time पर भी ये जो exercises हैं यहाँ पर काफी ज्यादा useful रहती हैं. ठीक है जी. So as a part of this particular exercise, let me tell you that MiG-21 is participating in this Gagan Shakti exercise for the last time. What is the reason behind that? The reason is that the MiG-21 जो कि यहाँ पर start हुआ था 1963 के अंदर, it will be pulled out of the service by 2025. Another important point that you can remember from the exam point of view. Let me tell you guys that in the month of February, we had another important exercise which has been conducted by the Indian Air Force, that was Vayu Shakti. तो ये सभी नाम हमें याद रखने हैं from the exam point of view. I hope that this is clear to all of you from the exam point of view. Let's move on to the next news article, and that is on the Agni Prime. So guys, Agni Prime एक न्यू जनरेशन बैलिस्टिक मिसाइल है जिसको रिसेंटली कंडक्ट किया है सक्सेसफुली, एंड दिस वाज बीइंग कंडक्टेड बाय द स्ट्रेटेजिक फोर्सेस कमांड अलोंग विद द DRDO, दैट इज डिफेंस रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. तो किसने कंडक्ट किया है? स्ट्रेटेजिक फोर्सेस कमांड अलोंग विद द DRDO. जब हम बात करते हैं कि अग्नि प्राइम मिसाइल जो है उसकी रेंज क्या है, बिकॉज देयर वाज सच काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चन इन द 2021 RBI Grade B ऑफिसर एग्जाम अबाउट द ब्रह्मोस. तो सिमिलरली क्वेश्चन अग्नि प्राइम पर भी आ सकता है, एंड द स्ट्राइक रेंज बिट ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर मिसाइल इज between 1000 to 2000 kilometers. So that is all the things that you are required to cover from the exam point of view. नाम याद रखिएगा, Agni Prime is the name of this particular missile. Let's move on to now the important days. We all know कि important days काफी ज्यादा important रहते हैं क्योंकि exam के अंदर we have seen the questions being asked from the exam. Okay, so the day that we are going to cover here is the 61st National Maritime Day. So National Maritime Day, let me tell you guys, it is being celebrated every year on April 5, and we celebrated by in order to give tribute to the seafarers and voyagers. But यहाँ पर एक और चीज इंपॉर्टेंट है जो हमें याद रखनी चाहिए, that is the first Indian owned ship, that is SS Loyalty. ठीक है, तो उसने अपना मेडन वॉयज किया था, that was also conducted on April 5, 1919, and that is the reason that we celebrate the National Maritime Day. Or first time when this day was being celebrated, it was in the 1964. I believe that all these details are very much clear. तो यहाँ पर डे क्या है, किस डेट को सेलिब्रेट किया जाता है, and this particular information is really very important to be covered from the exam point of view. Now guys, let's move on to the another important days, but before that you are required to tell me as a homework in the comment section that what is the duration of the Merchant Navy Week. तो Merchant Navy Week को हमने recently celebrate किया था, and आपको मुझे बताना है कि what exactly is the duration of this week. Okay, let's move on to the another important days. So here the another important day which is being celebrated every year on 4th of April. It is the International Day for Mine Awareness and Assistance in the Mine Action. Let me tell you that 2 years back there was a question on the Coal Miners Day which was being asked in the RBI exam. So make sure that you are covering this news article as well. The International Day for Mine Awareness and Assistance in the Mine Action. It is celebrated every year on which date? 4th of April. Okay. Now let's move on to the another news article. The day is International Day of Conscience, which is being celebrated every year on 5th of April. So guys, these are the days which are being celebrated by the United Nations, which is being observed by United Nations. That is why it is required to be covered from the exam point of view. Let's move on to the next important day, that is International Day of Sport for Development and Peace. We all know that sports basically unites us. They unites the people from the different cultures, different areas. We all know about the Olympics. Similarly guys, International Day of Sport for the Development and Peace. When we talk about the important days, we always tell you that you are required to cover the day, the date, and the third important thing is the theme for that particular day. So there is no theme for these 2 days, but there is a theme for this third day, which is celebrated every year on 6th of April. And the theme for this day is sport for the promotion of peaceful and inclusive societies. जैसा कि ये डे का नाम सजेस्ट करता है, the sport for development and peace. तो what exactly is the theme? स्पोर्ट फॉर द प्रमोशन ऑफ पीसफुल, ठीक है, पीसफुल और इंक्लूसिव सोसाइटीज को प्रमोट करता है ये पर्टिकुलर डे. एंड दैट्स ऑल फ्रॉम दीज इंपॉर्टेंट डेज न्यूज आर्टिकल्स दैट वी विल बी कवरिंग इन आवर टुडेज सेशन. लेट्स मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट न्यूज आर्टिकल. इट इज ऑन द फोर्ब्स वर्ल्ड्स बिलियनियर्स लिस्ट 2024. So this list has been launched recently, and once again for the consecutive year, Bernard Arnault has topped this particular list. It was followed by Elon Musk, जिसको हम जानते हैं टेस्ला और स्पेसएक्स के लिए. देन इट वाज ऑन द थर्ड पोजीशन द अमेज़न के जो फाउंडर हैं दैट इज जेफ बेजोस, ही वाज ऑन द थर्ड पोजीशन, फॉलोड बाय मार्क जकरबर्ग एंड लैरी एलिसन ऑन द फोर्थ एंड फिफ्थ पोजीशन. दे आर फ्रॉम द फेसबुक एंड ओरेकल. यू कैन सी द पर्सन पिक्चर हियर, दैट इज बेसिकली बर्नार्ड आर्नोल्ट. आई होप दिस पॉइंट इज क्लियर टू ऑल ऑफ यू. सो यहां पर हमने देखा दैट वर्ल्ड के अंदर रिचेस्ट पीपल कौन है, बट व्हाट अबाउट इंडिया? सो इंडिया की अगर हम बात करते हैं, द रिचेस्ट पीपल आर the Mukesh Ambani, which is related to the Reliance. Then we have followed by Gautam Adani. From the Adani group, we have Shiv Nadar, who is the founder of HCL Technologies, Savitri Jindal and Dilip Shangvi, who is the founder of Sun Pharmaceutical Industries Limited. So these are the names that we are required to cover. And why exactly we are covering the top 5? Because we know that the trend of the exam is changing, and the previous year we have seen that they are asking the questions from the top 5 of the list. That is why we are required to cover them from the exam point of view. I hope that all these news articles are very much clear to all of you. But let me tell you guys that just covering them is not at all relevant for all of you. It is not sufficient, because in the exam you guys are required to solve MCQs on the same, and that is why today we will be practicing all these particular information through the MCQs, which is the best manner. Let's answer the question which is here on the screen. So the first question is on the National Maritime Day, and we can see in the options the dates are being mentioned. That means it is directly asking you that what exactly is the date on which it is being celebrated. See guys, let me tell you that here you are not required to waste your time in reading the whole question. Just see in the last part on what date the National Maritime Day is observed. What is the right answer? It is 5th of April every year. That is the right part. Let's move on to the next question. Next question is basically on the CAR T-cell therapy. So here the 3 statements are being given. You are required to identify the correct statement here. So पहली स्टेटमेंट क्या है? थेरेपी का नाम CAR T-cell therapy, एब्सोल्युटली राइट. सेकंड स्टेटमेंट, ये वर्ल्ड की मोस्ट एक्सपेंसिव CAR T-cell therapy है. नो, दिस इज द वर्ल्ड्स मोस्ट अफोर्डेबल थेरेपी. Third question is, it was developed in collaboration between IIT Bombay, Tata Memorial Hospital and Immuno ACT. That is absolutely right. So what will be the right answer? It is answered option D, that is both 1 and 3. I believe that these questions are very much clear to all of you and very much easy now for you to answer if they will be asked in the exam as well. Moving on to the next question on the India's strategic petroleum reserves. So here once again guys we are required to identify the correct statement which are being mentioned here. So 3 statements आपके सामने mentioned है. Just focus on the keywords and make sure that you are answering the question correctly. तो पहली statement क्या है कि जो target year है by which we are planning to make India's first SPR operational, that is by 2930. Absolutely right. Second statement, the private operators of the new SPR will not have the right. I told you that they will be having the right to trade the stored oil. That means this statement is also incorrect. Third statement is about 2 new SPR sites that will be created. What exactly will be their capacities? 29.3 million, 18.3 million, which is in Odisha and Karnataka. So यहाँ पर आपको पता होना चाहिए जो combination था इनका. If you know that, then you will be able to answer the question correctly. So guys, what is the right answer here? I believe you will be able to answer the question. That is option A. That is only statement 1 is correct, because statement 2 and 3 are, both of them are incorrect here. Okay, because the combination is not correct here. Okay, moving on to the next question. The next question is from the days in news. So you have to identify the statements here. तो इनकरेक्ट स्टेटमेंट आपको आइडेंटिफाई करनी है, कौन सी स्टेटमेंट इनकरेक्ट है. तो पहली स्टेटमेंट, इंटरनेशनल डे ऑफ माइन अवेयरनेस एंड असिस्टेंस, ये कब सेलिब्रेट किया जाता है? 4th of April को सेलिब्रेट किया जाता है. एब्सोल्युटली राइट. सेकंड स्टेटमेंट, इंटरनेशनल डे ऑफ कॉन्शियंस, ये 5th April को सेलिब्रेट करते हैं. एब्सोल्युटली राइट. थर्ड स्टेटमेंट इज द थर्ड डे दैट वी कवर्ड, दैट इज द स्पोर्ट फॉर प्रमोशन ऑफ पीसफुल एंड इंक्लूसिव सोसाइटीज. तो ये क्या था? ये बेसिकली थीम थी. फॉर विच डेट? इंटरनेशनल डे ऑफ स्पोर्ट फॉर डेवलपमेंट एंड पीस. और ये डे सेलिब्रेट किया जाता है 5th of April को. See guys, do you really find this statement correct here? The third statement. We told you that it is celebrated on 6th of April. So that's why third statement is incorrect. So what will be the right answer? We are required to identify the incorrect statement here. So the right answer will be option D, that is only 3. Absolutely right. I believe कि आप सभी ने इन क्वेश्चंस का आंसर एकदम सही आंसर किया है इन द कमेंट सेक्शन. अब बढ़ते हैं अपने होमवर्क क्वेश्चन के ऊपर ऑन द टुडे सेशन, एंड द होमवर्क क्वेश्चन इज ऑन द फोर्ब्स वर्ल्ड्स बिलियनियर्स लिस्ट 2024. तो आपके सामने 3 स्टेटमेंट्स हैं, आपको आइडेंटिफाई करनी है कि कौन सी स्टेटमेंट करेक्ट है यहां पर. Do not forget to tell me your answers in the comment section of this particular session. और जैसे कि homework question इस सेशन का है, similarly we had the homework question from the previous session as well. Let's see that what exactly were the answers to those questions. So here you can see that there is a question on the Start 24 program, and this question was being asked in the previous session. The right answer to this question is option D, that is 1, 3 and 4 are these statements which are correct with respect to the Start program. Okay. Moving on to the next question. The next question was on the Electric Mobility Promotion Scheme 2024. And guys, when I talk about this particular question, so this question, the right answer is option B, that is only the third statement, which is the one which is incorrect. ठीक है, तो हमें incorrect statement identify करना था. The right answer is option B, that is the third statement was incorrect to this particular part. I believe that You have really answered the homework question correctly. और आज का भी जो हमारा homework question आप उसको सही से आंसर करेंगे. And my dear friends, if you are still new to our YouTube channel, kindly subscribe to it and press the bell icon to receive the latest updates of the courses and videos offered by us. And आपको आज की सेशन की PDF चाहिए तो what you can do? You can just join the Telegram channel of EduTap, and the link to which is being given in the description of this particular session. और वहां से आपको हमारे सारे सेशंस के PDFs मिल जाएंगे. I hope this is clear to all of you. Now my dear friends, that was all from the today's session. I believe आज का सेशन आप सभी को पसंद आया होगा. You can also tell me about the today's session in the comment section whether you liked it or not. और जितने भी queries हैं आपकी regarding the today's session, do not worry. Just mention your queries in the comment section and I will be answering your questions there as well. Okay? And if still you want to have any kind of mentorship from us, then what you can do, you can also connect to us at 8146207241. और आप अपनी queries को हमें mail भी कर सकते हैं at the hello@edutap.co.in. So my dear friends, we will be keep on coming with such kind of sessions. Till then, stay happy, stay healthy. Wish you all happy learning.